Hello, hello. What is up? Happy Wednesday. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. There's a weird thing going on in Meta where if you're like normal distance from the camera, you're like super close up in the camera. So I don't know if you guys have seen that, but I literally have to sit like I'm sitting way back from the camera. So let me know if you can hear me okay. Give me a thumbs up so that I don't do this whole video and the sound is bad. So I wanted to come on and just talk about this elevation era. You guys have probably seen some of my stuff, some of my posts, some of my stories. It's kind of been everywhere the last few days. And so I just wanted to share more about what this is, what it means. I'm going to touch on the retreat that I've been talking about, but I really want to also talk kind of beyond that and give you the whole big picture of what's going on. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Give me a thumbs up if you will. I'm like sitting far back for those that just jumped on. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and hope that everything's good with volume. So as you guys know, I have been an entrepreneur for 20 years. I've done different stuff ranging from having a brick and mortar business, which was a day spa, expanded into a medical spa. I've had a boutique. I've had a commercial and residential cleaning service. I've always been an esthetician since the beginning. And so I've done that in different facets. I do permanent makeup. So I've had a lot of just business and experience and entrepreneurship and marketing and all the things through my time. And so for the last 8 years, I had really focused on building my online business. And with that, I was just so like neck deep in that I was always so busy with that. I didn't have room to really think beyond that or really even think about doing anything else other than, you know, the permanent makeup I would do on the side. But I was just so consumed with that. And so in December of 2023, I kind of made a pivot as far as what I do in online business. And with that, and now that we're just about 2 years in there, one of the things that I really love is that, I just completely lost my train of thought. I like saw a message come across and I'm like, squirrel. One of the things that's been really nice is that there's a lot of support to where it's what I do now in online business is it's set up very well. So it doesn't consume all of my time, which in turn has given me space for my mind to just like wonder and explore and kind of expand and really think about like, okay, this is awesome. Like this is my financial vehicle here. With what I do online, but I have other passions and I have other things and I have people that I want to be in their world and they want to be in my world. And maybe it's not in this one business venture that I am focused on, right? Maybe there's another way that we're supposed to be in each other's worlds. And that's actually come up several times through conversation. So that's been cool. But basically, as I started, you know, really through like, I would say over the last 6 months, I started kind of getting some ideas and having different people come to me, asking my opinion and advice on things like marketing. And these are with businesses that I'm not like, these are just other types of small business. And just people know they're like, you've been in business forever. You've been doing the online thing for a decade. Like, you know, social media, like give me some advice on this or help me out with this. And so I do that. And I find that when I do that, no matter what type of business it is, I get so excited about it. Like, one of the things that I really love is I love helping someone take this scenario, let's just say in business, but it also can apply to like personal life. But I love to say, okay, tell me about your business. Like, what do you do? What's working really good? Where are the gaps? How could you scale? Like, do you have a social media? Like, talk to me about that. So I just really, really, really love like helping and supporting with that and giving my advice and working with people on that. And so, and I also love doing that from like a coaching perspective. I do that with people that are partnered with me in business. Like we'll get on a call and I'm like, okay, tell me all the things, like what's overwhelming you? Okay, let's look at this. What can we take off the plate? Because what happens is we kind of keep everything, we like carry this mental plate around. And this is what I see happen with like overwhelm, right? Like people are like, I'm so overwhelmed. And I'm like, you don't have to ever stay in a place of overwhelm. Like you can literally look at that plate and chances are on that plate, there are things that can be removed, delegated, canceled off, or some kind of plan made around it where you're just not walking around going, I'm overwhelmed. Like, don't stay there. Why would you stay there? So I love like helping also coach people personally and figure things out like that. So I've known all of this. And like I said, I've had more and more opportunities and situations and people coming to me, like asking me for advice with stuff. And I'm like, how can I do more of this? How can I structure this? How can I obviously like while I would love to like just sit around and give my time forever and get on the phone with people and like have hour or 2 hour sessions, like figuring things out, I can't, at this stage, I can't just do that and unlimitedly give of my time, right? So how do I make this into a business? How do I make this into a service that people are more than willing to invest in, right? To get out of this situation and get things figured out and get out of that place of like overwhelm or not being able to scale or whatever. So there's that is actually something that I'm not exactly launching yet, but I do want to put it out there because I know there may be people that hear this and they're like, oh, I would love to do that. And they've never like even thought about like having someone do that with or for them or, things like that. But I want to throw it out there because if that's something that you have interest in and that would be beneficial to you, let me know that. Okay. But right now, what I'm focused on and what was kind of another avenue of that when I really started like thinking on it and praying on it and be like, just being like, what more is there for me? Like, what is my expansion? What is, what's next? How do I expand and how do I reach and be able to work with more people and be in more people's worlds? And so this retreat thing came about. And like I've said, I've hosted team retreats for a decade. I absolutely love it. Like I'm telling you, I love every part of it. And so when this came about to do the Elevation Era retreat, everything about it felt like exciting and it felt right. And like the ideas flowed to me constantly. And so, this has just all come together. And so I do want to share a couple things on that because I've been talking to a lot of people just since launching it yesterday. And people are like, oh my gosh, like this is so cool. Like I feel like I want to do this. I need this, but I've never done anything like this before. I've never invested in myself. I'm shy. I'm antisocial. Like these are all the things that I'm getting. And this morning, my day started with, did like a 2-hour round trip drive. So of course my mind is just, I'm thinking about all this stuff and I was like, I can't wait to get home and go live. And like, I never even go live anymore. So it's so funny, but I'm like, I think back to myself 10 years ago and where I was at and where I started before I ever invested in myself, had any kind of mentorship, went through any kind of coaching programs. Now, what I have invested in myself and what I have spent on like events and retreats and programs and just different things is in the probably $50,000 to $100,000 that I've actually invested in myself. And that's what mentorship's about, right? Like we all start out at a certain place unmentored and then we go through years. And after about a decade, we have so much that we've gotten and so much growth. And we're like, I could really help other people through this and with this, right? So, I'm excited for this era that was so like, it just came so fast and it's coming to life so fast. And I was like, wait, I didn't even actually get to like think about it. But like I said in my post last night, like sometimes that's the best part about it, right? So, I just want to kind of speak into those couple things with, that feeling of like, maybe you checked out the retreat. Maybe you're like one of the people that raised their hand. I haven't even finished messaging everybody back the info. So pretty much if you don't watch my stories, you probably haven't even gotten all the deets yet on it. But I want to really speak to the people that have maybe already looked at it and it's kind of in the back of your head, or you're going to see it. Because I'll actually drop it on here. Hey, Kim, what's up? And so I want to speak to you on some of what might come up as you start to think about that. And I know first thing is, right, like for everybody, the first thing is always cost. That's always the thing that holds us back, obviously. Like we could all think of like, okay, think about like the dream trip that you want to take right now. And then you're like, oh, but the cost and blah, blah, blah. But I really want to encourage you with that because there's a reason that the investment for this experience is what it is. If it was too easy, I'd have 500 people there and it wouldn't be an intimate retreat. So that's that. But this experience and everything about it, like the time frame, right? Like this is in next April. We're in October, so we're like 6 months away, right? So if you're already deciding and telling yourself that like, whatever it is, like, oh, I can't afford it, I can't spend money on myself, like whatever it is, I just want to remind you that you're making a decision for almost halfway through 2026. You're making a decision 6 months ahead. Now, granted, you have to secure your spot. This thing's going to be sold out this month is what it's looking like, right? So you have to make the decision. You have to make the commitment. But you have to also think, how much is in my control between now and 6 months from now? Like, I was just thinking about it on my drive. I'm like, how cool to go, okay, this is really big and really freaking scary. And either, I've never done anything like this before, or I don't see how I'm going to make all this work and happen necessarily, or whatever it is that's in your head. But then going, but what are my controllables that I could actually do and put in place and maybe give up? Like, what is something, what's a habit, what's something I spend money on that I could go, actually, you know what, I'm going to do this for me next April, and it gets to start now. And this is how I'm going to make this happen. And then go on like a personal run for yourself for the next, set that as like a gift for yourself, a reward for what you're going to do between now and then. I was like, how cool would it be for somebody to like see this, commit, jump in, scared, unsure, whatever it is, and then make a plan around it that supports you being there in April going, holy crap, look what I just made happen. Like, look what I did. Look what I did in the tail of last year, and look where I'm at now compared to where I was at 6 months ago versus if I would have just stuck with like, oh, I can't do it because. You're literally going to get to go there and be in this elevated space, this proximity with all the experiences. Like every night when I'm falling asleep, I'm like thinking of new things and I'm like putting in inquiries. Last night, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I have a favorite restaurant in Orlando, and it's so much fun. Like, it's just such a cool place and the food's amazing. And so last night I'm like inquiring on, okay, how much is it going to be for us to get like a limo transportation, and we need the private room at the restaurant. Like everything that comes to mind, I'm trusting that that's supposed to be part of the experience, and I'm making it happen. Like, you wouldn't even believe the things that I already have lined up for this. So and I don't want to give, like, I want there to be like so many surprises. So I'm not going to like drop a lot of it, but I can guarantee you, and I said this in something I wrote yesterday. I'm like, I'm not like one that throws promises out there, but you will not leave this thing the same. No matter what that looks like for you, you're not going to leave the same. So I'm like, it's so cool to me, like the time frame of being able to decide right now and put this intention out there for the celebration that you're going to have in April of 2026 because of what you did. Now, sometimes you need something big to give you that push. You know that, right? Like, sometimes you need something big, because for those that are like, oh, this feels big, like I can't imagine spending that amount of money on myself and blah, blah, blah. How does that feel to you to be in that situation? Especially if you work. And look, this isn't for everyone. Like, it's not for everyone. Like I said, if it was for everyone, I'd have to have a 500 person retreat. And maybe we'll do that one day. I'll just rent out like a whole, resort kind of thing, and we'll just fill it up, and it'll be like easy for everybody. That's not what this is. This is for a very specific type of person and a very specific person. And so I just want to, like I said, I want to, and I'm also open to like jumping on a call with you. If you're like feeling the pull, but you're feeling a little bit scared and you're like, I just need to work through this. Like, that's normal. I remember one time, it's probably been like, it was so many years ago. It was like, well, I say so many. It was probably like, let's see, it was probably around like 2019, I think. So 6 years ago. Feels like forever. Feels like ages ago. There was an event that was being hosted by my company that I was with, and it was like to learn how to like speak and present on stage. And it was over $3,000, and it was just like a one-day thing. And I was like, I don't have the money for this. There's no way. Like, I don't have the money. And I went to one of my mentors, who actually was the CEO of the company. And I'm like, hey, like, look, like, I don't miss anything. Like, I want to be here for this. Like, I do not miss an event ever, ever, ever. But I do not have, like, I don't have the means for it. I don't even know, like, where I would find it. I don't have the money. It's not realistic right now. And he's like, look, it's simple. You just have to ask yourself if you can afford not to miss it. And I found the money. I made it happen, because I was like, yeah, he's right. And so I look at that and I'm like, I remember what that felt like. And I wouldn't have gone if I wouldn't have had somebody to go to that was at a mentor level that had been on that path that I had been on and had felt that feeling of like, oh, this is big. Like, I can't believe I'm about to do this, right? So I'm just letting you know, like, I am happy to be that for you. And I will 100%, if I don't think that's a good idea or a fit for you, I will tell you that. I am not worried about this thing selling out or not. Like, I know and I trust in my heart that the right people are going to be there without a doubt. I know that. Right? And so I'm not here to convince anybody. I'm not here to like give you bad advice. I just want to help. I want to offer that of myself, because you may not have that. You may not have mentorship in your life. This might be your first mentorship experience, right? So I just want you to know, like, let me know. Hit me up in the inbox. Be like, hey, when can we chat real quick? I am so here for that. Especially like I've had a few people that are like, I'm antisocial. And I'm like, so am I, believe it or not. Like, there are a lot of things I would rather do than like walk into, I'll tell you this quick story. And this is like week 5 of a Bible study I'm doing here locally in my town. And when I tell you, like, I went to the first one, like kicking and screaming inside, because I'm like, it was so uncomfortable, because I know that you guys may not believe me, because I'll get on here and talk and I'll take a microphone and step in front of a room of 2,000 people. I really don't care how many people it is. But to put me in like a room or a small space like that with like people I don't know, like I may kind of know a few, it was so uncomfortable. So I get that feeling. But the cool thing is, like, with the, and I very much like got through it, and I'm still like a little awkward. I like sit by myself, except for my girl Jenna. She comes and sits with me, but I'm like, I'm still a little bit awkward with it. So believe it or not, I can relate to that. I can relate to that. So, but I can tell you this, like, and it's funny, I was talking to one of my friends about it, and I'm like, it's so crazy. I'll fly to, Australia or Bali or wherever across the dang world and like go into a retreat with 16, 20 women and be completely fine. But like, to go to this little group, like, I don't know, it's so weird, but I can tell you that a retreat is such a special environment, and it's a place where everybody gets to come and they get to just like take off the black robe and leave it outside and leave it at the door, and you just get to come, you get to be present, you get to be you, and you get to, it is such an experience. And this one in particular, with it being, the first one, I'm like, I'm so excited. It's just going to be so magical. So I can't wait to experience it with y'all. I already had a couple people grab their seat overnight last night, and I was literally like, they got their message at like 10:30 last night. Like, here's the info. So, I'm excited for those of you that are going to get the info next. I'm excited to connect with some of you and just help you kind of work through this and help you elevate and help you just take that big next uncomfortable step. And again, I talked a little bit about in the beginning of the call, just consulting. So if you feel pulled, if you feel like you're supposed to be in my world in some way, if you have thought about partnering with me in business, I just said, like, this is a whole separate thing, but I kind of this morning started thinking about some stuff with that for, someone who wants to be partnered with me in business and wants to do this retreat. So you know what? You never know how something is going to come together. So don't do yourself a disservice and not reach out. I would rather you reach out to me and let's chat. I'm very human. I'm an open book. You know that if you know me, if you're in my world already, or if you're a client of mine or whatever it is. But I'm really excited. I'm excited for this whole elevation era. I'm excited for the expansion. I'm excited to have the space and the capacity, and just to be able to have the ideas that are coming in that I know that I get to now bring to life. So that's all. I'll keep it short and sweet. And thank y'all for tuning in, and shoot me a message over and let's chat some more. I'll see y'all soon.